Ring the bell.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. This is night 2 of your WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania XL coverage from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know the arena's name. That's Carl's job. But I'm Jooseyboy alongside Karlifornia, and we are here to chop up night 2, bitch. Karlifornia, bro, how do you feel coming out of this Mania so far?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Looking forward more to night 2 than night 1, of course, because that's where it's all on the line, brother. But you know what? It was at Lincoln Financial Field. It was April 7th, 69,621 people. So less people than the first one, but I'm guessing 3,000 people had work very early in the morning or something on Monday. So whatever. I don't know. I don't understand that. But anywho, maybe more people went on night 1 because The Rock was wrestling. Who knows? Few disappointing results on night 1, Jooseyboy, but I was hopeful things will work out better for night 2. Let's just get underway.
Yeah.
Let's match up, bro. WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defending against Drew McIntyre. He's from fucking Scotland.
Yeah, mate. So I'll start us off. I was looking forward to this match quite a bit. Obviously, Drew McIntyre is doing the best character work of his career. The last time that Rollins and McIntyre wrestled, I do recall vaguely that I wasn't really into the match. I just kind of thought it was just sort of there. Yeah, it was the last time that McIntyre competed for Rollins championship. But this match here at Mania, I felt like they kicked it up a notch. I'd have to give it a solid B+ for the rating. I had a lot of fun with the fact that Damian Priest finally cashed in. And I guess we'll have to wait to see in the coming weeks, you know, how Drew McIntyre comes out of it. But I definitely hope that the cash in ends up being the catalyst for something even bigger for Drew, rather than he got cashed in on, you know, now he's going to complain about it for weeks but keep losing. I'm really hoping that even if the title itself is no longer the primary focus in Drew's mind, that he continues to be one of the top acts on the show.
Yep, good point, bro. I love the elaborate entrances for both of these guys. I thought it was a sight to see. I thought the match itself was fantastic, although I think we could have protected the Claymore a bit. Still kicked out of it quite a few times. The match had some actual heat to it, which was cool. And it felt like Drew was destined to win this matchup after a few failed attempts at Seth previously. And rave reviews for his new edge as a heel character again made it seem pretty obvious to me. Punk on commentary for this match added a nice element to the whole thing. I like that Drew kept hyper-focusing on Punk throughout. He was a man possessed. He won the match. He won the championship. And I love that afterward, he just wouldn't stop with Punk. He was on top of the world, bro. He didn't need to keep going, but he went going just a little bit too long. And as we know, what happens when you poke the hornet's nest, which is CM Punk, you might get stung. He went from being on top of the world, wanting to have a picture of him showing the belt to Punk's face while standing on the announce table, a picture of that framed to put on his wall. And now he's definitely not going to have that because that's just before the moment where the shit hit the fan for him. So I thought it was really funny that if he didn't keep going for it, if he didn't keep poking the hornet's nest, nothing bad would have come of it. And that is kind of true to life with CM Punk. So I did think the match went rather quick. It was only 10 minutes, 40 seconds, but I did like the result. As we know, bro, CM Punk snapped, pulled his leg from under him. Drew hits the table. Punk then ends up nailing him with his arm brace. And then here we go. Here comes Damian Priest. Damian Priest hits him in the head with his briefcase, throws him in the ring, hits his sit-down chokeslam, wins the championship in 7 seconds after getting the referee to actually cash in the moment he asks instead of being asked, are you sure, 40 times. What did you think of Damian cashing in and becoming the world champion?
Yeah, well, I'm happy for Damian. Really, that's all I think about it. Really, I don't have any thoughts beyond that so far.
Me too. I am happy for him.
To be wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I knew that. I saw him as a future main eventer after his match with Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. And I hope that this it isn't a sign that Drew has not re-signed with WWE and is going to leave. I hope he sticks around for the next 4 to 5 years. Anyway, let's move forward, bro. What a start to the show. Now we get a 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. Special guest referee, Bubba Ray Dudley. Special guest commentator, Snoop Dogg. It's the pride of the Street Profits and Lashley with B-Fab against the Final Testament of Akam, Rizar, Karrion Kross with Scarlett and Paul Ellering at ringside. So I did like the added touches of Snoop being brought on commentary. I thought he was very funny. Bubba Ray Dudley was also introduced as special guest referee, which was cool for Philly. All out war between the two factions. But again, I have to be completely honest. This was the chance to really get the Final Testament over. Having Karrion Kross pin Lashley in this match would have done wonders for the new group. When a group like this gets beaten so convincingly in their first big outing as a group on a PLE, how are we as fans to believe that they can get the job done after this? It's called establishing talent, establishing a stable. This reminds me of Santos and Ray at WrestleMania Night 1. Karrion could have done with the win here, and maybe there is more to come, but this felt rather final, no pun intended. Props to Scarlett and B-Fab for what they brought to the match, going through a table on the outside. Despite not being happy with the result, it was fun and it was good. 8 minutes, 36 seconds. Jooseyboy, take it away.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I honestly didn't know Bubba Ray Dudley was the referee until like he actually started getting involved in the match. That's how little attention I was paying to the referee. And I thought that this was yeah, I never watch fucking entrances, but fuck that, bro. That's like an extra 6 minutes onto each fucking match. So yeah, I thought that this was good, but I kind of agree with you. I definitely think the Final Testament needed to win. It's an absolute mistake to keep smashing the Street Profits over everyone. The Street Profits, in my opinion, are one of those teams that skirt the line between being fun and being stale, like the New Day are, right? Every time I see them get the big babyface win and the big pop, it makes me want to boo them, right? Like I'm starting to feel that way about them. And that's not what I think I'm supposed to be feeling as a fan coming out of watching them win this match, and they're the baby faces. I'd probably give it about a C+ in quality. I thought it was fun, but I expected a lot more. You know, it's Mania. Why aren't there big spots being planned specially for this match? All right, we need something big in the Final Testament versus Pride match. You know, we need a big spot for this match over here. Like the Jimmy versus Jay, that needed a big spot. Like why wasn't Solo involved in that? Like why was nothing big done for a couple of these different matches on the card on both nights when it clearly called for it? And that's kind of how I felt about this match.
Fair enough, bro. Let's move forward. AJ Styles taking on LA Knight in the next one. What are your thoughts?
Very fun match. Giving it a B-. I really liked it. I enjoyed the physicality between these two. I enjoyed the fact that it looked like they were angry. It looked like these were two men who both have a lot of pride, both think that they're deserving of, you know, a top spot on the roster, which are limited. Both think that they've got the experience. Both think that they've got the drive and passion. And it was, you know, who's the better man? Yeah, I thought that this was a really, really good match. It was the right result. I thought AJ looked great. I think AJ as a heel with this new persona he's doing is infinitely more interesting than AJ Styles was during his feud with Shinsuke, or like pretty much with the exception of the feud against The Undertaker. This is the most interested I've been in AJ Styles since that time.
Right, well, that's good. And he's looking in fantastic shape. I thought they had a fantastic match.
Yeah.
I think they have chemistry. I thought it was off the charts with the chemistry. This is LA Knight's first WrestleMania match. Great for him to pick up the victory. But again, the tough one, though. AJ still constantly need to reestablish himself, but it's not necessarily a big deal in the end. I still want AJ to be in that echelon that starts putting people over on a consistent basis and no longer be a true threat to the main event scene like The Miz, etc. To me, I really thought this was the best match of the undercard of the show before we got to the main event. 12 minutes, 28 seconds. Let's move forward again. WWE United States title triple threat match. Logan Paul defends against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I thought this was a really fun match, bro. I know it was a slight shoehorning because I think they were going with Logan versus Randy, but then maybe decided to keep Kevin with Logan to make this a triple threat. But I think they did a good job, an entertaining job building to this story heading into WrestleMania, especially with the inclusion of A-Town Down Under. I really love the part of the match where Kevin and Randy realized at the same time that they were both going for a pinfall at the same time.
Yeah.
So then there was a bit of a stare down. Then Randy went for an RKO on Kevin, who got shoved off. And then Randy kind of gave him a sorry, bro kind of look, which I thought was great. Then they went at it. So it really felt like Logan might lose this because the odds were certainly not in his favor, but he was like the ultimate opportunist here and somehow, some way got away with the title and retained in 17 minutes, 38 seconds. What did you think, bro?
Yeah, this match is an A-. This match is probably a dark horse for match of the night. You know, a lot of people don't like Logan Paul. I don't like Logan Paul as a human being. The NFTs, the crypto scams, all that shit that he's into fucking shits me off. But as a wrestler, though, I love him. You know, so I love him as a wrestler. And I think that everything that he does, he's always in the right position. He's always in the right spot. I thought the idea of Kevin and Randy kind of being these two veterans that everyone's just looking forward to seeing them gang up on Logan Paul because he's just such a fucking dickhead. And I thought that was played to perfection. I thought that it was just agented tremendously. You can't deny, like, because people often say, well, of course Logan Paul's really good. He's rich. He's got unlimited money. He can afford the best trainers. He's been brought in by WWE. He has leverage over him. So, of course, he's getting the best. Listen, you can have the best of the best training you and shit like that. You can't teach some of the stuff Logan Paul naturally picks up on in the ring in terms of like, oh, I need to be here. I need to use this kind of body language. I need to react in this way. He's perfect. It's like a little example at the beginning when they're on the outside and he's being, punched between the other two. That goes on for 4 or 5 strikes, and then Logan throws a kick to the midsection of Owens, right, to try to get some space, right? A lot of young wrestlers in that situation would just let the spot happen and not fight back because they're not supposed to. But he understands, like, oh, I should throw a little thing in there to try to make it look like I'm defending myself. So that's just one very small example right at the beginning. But yeah, can't say enough about this match. Good things about this match. I think that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, you know, beyond what Logan Paul can do, I think that they just showed themselves to be such pros and just two guys that can go out there and have a great match and look like they're having fun doing it as well.
I dig it, bro. I dig it. Very well said. Okay, well, we can move forward to the next matchup, which is the second last match of the show. WWE Women's title, Io Sky from Damage Control, taking on Bayley. What did you think of the women's title match, Juicy Boy?
Yeah, this match was actually like really fucking cool. You know, like I thought, like, you know what? They didn't try to do anything crazy. They didn't try to turn it into a weird, overly booked moment. It was just two great competitors went out there and had a hell of a match. And I think they're the first minor women's title match, because let's face it, there's always a major world title and a minor one. Like obviously the one that Rhea currently holds, that's the major one as far as the fans see it. So normally there's one women's title match that everyone's excited to see, and then there's another one that's for the other belt that's usually left over. For the first time in history this year, I feel like I was equally invested in both women's title matches, and I was equally interested in both, and they were both like, this was a more athletic match than Rhea versus Becky. That's how it set itself apart. It was more of a technical classic. And honestly, I loved it. You know, there's not much more to say than that. Like, absolutely, to go out there on that at that point in the night, in that spot in the card, with that fucking shit crowd, and still somehow manage to draw a good reaction out of it. Well, especially the one thing I want to highlight in terms of actual spots is I loved the counter out of the Rose Plant by Io Sky. I thought that was fucking just so awesome. I'd never seen a counter like that before. It looked great. Yeah, can't say enough good things.
Wonderful, bro. Wonderful. I too was really interested in this match. I was quite hyped for it because I felt like the build up to it was tremendous, and it was a story that was kind of winding through the WWE for some time. So that's what made it meaningful, that there was a story that built up over time and it wasn't thrown up together from just the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. That's when long-term booking is finally being utilized in the WWE. These two really had a great match. Whilst I still feel like the Becky and Charlotte Flair eras in WWE should start winding down ever so slightly. As far as main event goes, I think Bayley still has perhaps a year or two, couple of years left there before I really do think that we need to start pushing her slightly down for some other talent, but that's okay. Just a little tidbit there. They all three of those girls from the Four Horsewomen, they still definitely have a place there in WWE. Where that is, I don't know. But I do feel we are in the Rhea era now. Congrats to Bayley for telling a great story with somebody who I thought was a fantastic women's champion, Io Sky. 14 minutes, 22 seconds. All right, bro. We're getting to the main event of the evening here. WWE Undisputed Universal Championship Bloodline Rules. Roman Reigns defending against Cody Rhodes. Bro, would you like to go first or would you like me to go first?
No, you go first because you'll take forever. So it's like, you do yours and then I'll come in and cap it off at the end. And then
Okay. Well, it's finally time for the big showdown everyone had been waiting for a whole year. I knew that this would be the destination that we would be at. And now you look back at the journey Cody went on for the last 2.5 years. Now to all you whinging marks on Reddit and Twitter that argue with me that Cody was buried and he was never going to win the title. Now you're going to eat your words? Probably not.
Are you going to apologize? Because we all told you last year that he wasn't buried.
No.
We all told you literally the day of, no, he's not buried. You guys just are impatient. But we won't get anyone apologizing to us for saying that now. There won't be any humble pie eating.
I'm going to go back on Reddit and I'm going to find the comment. I don't know if you can still comment on whatever I said back then, but there was a guy I remember arguing with over this. Now I want to be like, so what do you think now, bro?
Go into your post history.
I will.
And then even if you aren't able to comment on the post further, you can still message the guy.
Yep.
So just be like, that would annoy him so much. That would annoy the person so much. Like,
yeah, because I remembered. Because here's the thing, like I said, he had 77 days from when he returned or something like that. I don't even know. Maybe it was even less than that, but 77 days from his return or something around that you're expected to have this amazing story be fulfilled. No, you just wanted everything that you wanted then and there. You didn't want to wait for it. Well, now you got it, and now you're happy about it because he went through hard times, baby. Anyway, Cody was made to look like an absolute star here. Roman put him over to nauseam. Roman and Paul were all out of their tricks. I noticed that Paul at one stage, I thought he should have got bumped by somebody at one stage. Unfortunately, he did not, but that's okay. Maybe Paul can't take any more bumps, but I think maybe something should have happened to Paul. I don't think he got involved enough. I think he should have done something. So anyway, to have Jay be summoned to stop Jimmy, John Cena to be summoned to stop Solo Sikoa was brilliant. To have Rock and Cena have a showdown like they did was so entertaining to me. I really could not believe my eyes seeing those two staring at each other. Cena says you can't see me, goes to hit him and gets rock bottomed. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It is such a shame that they could not summon Stone Cold for this moment, because I think it would have made so much more sense to have Stone Cold stun The Rock one last time. The Undertaker, though, did pop me. I thought that that was great, completely fine, even though it doesn't quite make as much sense. Still, Cody is summoning the Avengers here in some way. The smoke cleared. Cody finally beat Roman clean in the center. Brilliant stuff, and one of the most fun main events I've seen from WWE in some time. Juicy Boy, any further thoughts to follow up there?
Yeah, A minus on the main event. I thought it was really like, this is the kind of match in a pay-per-view that made me excited to be a wrestling fan to begin with. Like, the idea that things can happen and there's stakes and it's important. I thought they had an outstanding just singles match for the first 20 minutes of this before the Usos actually interfered.
Mm.
Um, Usos interfere. I wish that they hadn't have had a match on night one. Like, I actually think it would have been more impactful if the only interaction they had was during this on night two. But that's in hindsight after watching, the match that they had, which I didn't like. A lot of people keep saying, why wasn't it Austin? It should have been Austin. Austin's never been referenced by The Rock at all one time during this feud. It doesn't really make a difference to me whether it's Stone Cold or Undertaker or somebody else. It just has to be somebody that is probably considered equally legendary as The Rock. Only nitpick about it was, I don't like things where they have this massive moment where The Rock runs down, Cena comes out, takes out Solo, they do the stare off, Cena gets taken out, Undertaker shows up, takes out Rock, lights go off, everyone's disappeared. It's cool and everything, but I don't like the fact that you have to stop the match and all this shit is happening and you can just see Cody and Roman selling on the outside. People are going to call it nitpicking, and it is, but that's just how I feel. I can't help but notice that we've kind of stopped the entire match between these two so that all this auxiliary stuff can play out. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it play out, but I kind of think that you should have had Cody and Roman off brawling somewhere, or maybe something that would have kept them down a little bit more, because this whole interference sequence went on for quite a bit of time before Cody and Roman, like specifically the bit with The Rock, Cena, and The Undertaker. I feel like that went on for quite a long period of time. And so, yeah, I think that something else needed to happen to get the main two competitors down during that. But beyond that, everything else about it was perfect. This is what I want to see at a WrestleMania main event. Sometimes I feel like saying to Vince McMahon somewhere out there, this is what you should have been doing for the last 15 years. Why haven't you been doing it? When I'm watching this Triple H era booking, that's how I feel a lot of the time, Carl. Like, Vince, why haven't you been doing this? Why haven't we seen this from you since like 2002? Because Triple H's booking is showing it is possible. It is possible for the characters to be better on the mic. It is possible for them to be more compelling. It is possible for the commentators to be more entertaining and more loose and free-flowing. It's possible for people to get invested in stories and for stories to go on for long periods of time without losing the audience's attention. And the reason why we're finally being reminded of that is because WWE is actually having a chance to do some of those things, which it just seems like they weren't able to do under the Vince McMahon regime. But it will never not boggle my mind why Vince chose to take the company post 2003 in the direction that he did, as far as like the limitations and the strictness and we're fitting it into this box whether it belongs there or not. So I feel like, to sum up the main event, this main event was like a microcosm of everything good that Triple H has injected into the product since taking over head of creative. So that's all I've got to say on that, and I am ready to look at some tweets, bitch.
Yep, Triple H was like, I'm going to inject the WWE with a lethal dose of creativity and free-flowing ideas that actually can be seen to fruition. Not Vince and his poison. But bro, like things are completely changing for this company. And I just am happy that I got to get through a whole WrestleMania without getting overly upset at something. So yes, do you have a rating out of 10 for this WrestleMania before we start looking at some of these tweets?
I'm gonna also give this rating an 8 out of 10. And I also would like to say that despite what I said about Vince's creative right there, it pains me to have to admit that all those IWC smart marks that were saying Vince needs to go, the company will never get better until he's gone, blah, blah, blah. It pains me to have to admit that those people were right. Back then, I used to think, you look for any excuse to dog Vince, even if the product is shit, it's still his company. We don't know what the company would look like without him. So how can you say it would be better? That used to be my attitude. I am clearly being proven wrong by the last 6 months to a year of WWE programming that we've seen. So, and I'm glad that I've been proven wrong.
Yeah, bro, there's nothing wrong with being proven wrong if it's ended up with something rather positive taking place, which is, a nice new era for professional wrestling. Okay. So, you know what? I'm going to go with a tweet that oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. A tweet that you sent me just before we started recording this, again from at WWE Real One.
You're doing the real one.
Okay. No, you can respond to this. You can respond. I'm just going to read it to you. It's hilarious watching people gassing up WWE after a stinky WrestleMania just because of one result last night. Okay, floor is yours, bro.
Okay, dude, how is everybody like? No, hang on, man, hang on.
Already
Let
with
me
dude.
it's like I need to actually just collect myself because I feel like half of my brain cells were just wiped out reading the tweet. Um, People aren't gassing WWE up after a stinky WrestleMania just because they liked the result of one match. They're gassing WWE up after what they think is a good WrestleMania with lots of different matches that they liked, and especially a main event that they like. Dude, you're embarrassing yourself. Like I said in the review for night one, unless you're a troll account. If you're a troll account, dude, hats off to you. You're my favorite person in the world. But if you're even 10% serious about half the shit that I'll say it again, psychological help. You need help, sir. You need help. You shouldn't be on Twitter posting things about these. You don't even seem to be able to comprehend the difference between the reality of the real world and what goes on within the fictional world of professional wrestling. You are sick, sir. Please seek, please seek help.
It's so funny because you know what, bro? It must have been about like a month ago. He said, like, I wish people would stop bagging AEW. I just want to enjoy wrestling. And it's like, you're worse, you fucking dickhead. You're worse. You are worse. You are so toxic and horrible and full of shit. There's no way you believe 10%, 90%, 100%. Anything that you say could not seriously be coming from an actual human being who is well adjusted. You are a knobhead. I would love to push him into a swimming pool.
Yeah. I almost have to. Part of me is starting to believe that it almost has to be a troll.
It has to be, bro. He has to be like, man, all these other AEW accounts are always like so proud of everything I say. Like I hate it.
I just can't picture somebody in earnest sitting down and writing a tweet like that without smirking and laughing at how much it's going to piss off people. But anyways, let's move on.
It has to be
yourself, real one.
Yep. Anyway, here comes one that's this. I can't wait to just respond nicely and politely to this person. Julie Chang's #1 fan at Truly Julie Rocks. I guess she just watched Raw. And I have not watched Raw after WrestleMania yet, but I want to. This alludes to something that happened on night 2. I don't understand this. If Drew was going to be here for Raw, why did they have him lose yesterday? That was a Raw after WrestleMania moment, if there ever was one. Why not let just Drew have his night? He's going back to Scotland for how long? If you're Damian Priest, what would you rather? Would you rather win it at WrestleMania in front of all of those tens of thousands of people, 69,000 people, Or do you want it to be at the Raw after WrestleMania in front of like what, 16 to 19,000 people or something like that? I think maybe WrestleMania. I think maybe CM Punk being right there and Drew doing something to annoy him when Drew could have just been sailing off into the sunset for the evening to go drink some champagne with his hot wife and have a fun time, get in a hot tub or something. No, he ended up just going too long, picking it and poking at Punk, and then it just backfired to the worst possible outcome that could have happened for him. If he lost to Seth, that would have been worse than winning it and then losing it straight afterward because of his cocky attitude. No, Julie Chain's #1 fan. That is a terrible idea. Whilst I'm sure it would have been fun, I prefer what we got. And I think a lot of other people do too, including Damian Priest. Only 3 more tweets to look at here. From John E. Warren. At Floppy Adult. 6 out of 14 listed matches were good to great. Main on night 1 among the worst ever matches at WrestleMania. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Definitely a couple other clunkers. Wouldn't say it's the best, but it had some highs for sure. Floppy Adult, John E. Warren. 6 out of 14 matches. No. Okay, let me just look at this. Okay, so 14 matches. Main event of night 2 was good. Bailey versus Io Sky was good. US title match was good. LA Knight versus AJ was good. The Pride versus Final Testament was good. Damien versus Seth was good. Okay, night 1. Oh, so night 2, excuse me. I think I just gave that 7 out of 7 matches were good. So that's already one more than what he listed. Let's look. Rhea versus Becky was good. That's 8. The ladder match makes 9. Okay, maybe Ray and Andrade. It was still an okay match. It was passable. Maybe I'll say that wasn't a good match. Okay, so that's 9 out of 10 so far. Jay versus Jimmy. Okay, 9 out of 11. That wasn't a very good match. The 6-woman tag was great. 10 out of 12. Gunther and Sammy was a great match. So that's 11 out of 13. And you're wrong. The tag team match main event was good. So 12 out of 14 matches, I would say, were good to great. 1 was okay and 1 was not very good. So bite me, bro.
Like this person saying that it was among the worst WrestleMania main events ever. First of all, this person has definitely not actually watched most WrestleManias, if that's what he thinks. Because WrestleMania's always been epic, but there's always been bad matches at Mania and things that don't work at Mania forever. This fan that wrote this tweet is the kind of fan that wouldn't have been happy with The Rock's performance unless he was getting Canadian destroyed off a ladder through an announce table and fucking like getting pile driven on the steps and stuff. That's what The Rock would have had to have put himself through in order to have this person think that he did a good job. And that's why he's saying it's one of the worst, because The Rock's involved. That's the only reason he's saying it's one of the worst, because The Rock got to go in and have another main event. Completely wrong. Like, I advise you to delete your tweet, dude. Like, it's not a good look.
No, not good at all. Anyway, the next tweet from @Kane Del Rey. This is so funny, all this Mania sucked, and he's screenshotted ratings on cagematch.net. Well, gee, I wonder why, dickhead. I wonder why, because everyone that does that on cagematch.net, they like a certain type of wrestling, don't they? And they always vote WWE stuff badly. So bite me, dude. You're stupid. Last tweet at AEW is good. What do you expect? They said All In is better than WrestleMania. And then someone responded saying, gang, STFU. Loser! Shut up. All right, bro. Well, there we have it. There's our review of WrestleMania Night 2. Thank you so much for your time, Jooseyboy.
Yeah, no worries, mate. And thank all of you out there. And we continue to be on our march towards 2,000 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all that different stuff. And if you disagree with anything I have to say in this review, I'm not saying this to be an asshole, let me know. I want to talk. We want to open discussion up.
Yeah.
You know, let us know what you think. And let us know what you thought in the comments of WrestleMania 40 Nights 1 and 2. And yeah, I guess that's it, bro.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Juicy Boy, and thank all of you out there once again. And we will see you all down the road. Thank you.